everyone! Welcome back to another virtual visit to Farm Club. We've had some amazing new arrivals on the farm since your last visit, and I've got one of them in my hand to share with you. It's a tiny baby quail. It's actually nearly a week old. They are so super small when they're born. Let's pop this little chap back with his brothers and sisters. Come and meet them. Let's go and meet another one of our new arrivals. It's a baby guinea pig. This one has particularly unusual markings. Baby guinea pigs are born all covered in hair. This little chap's only 3 days old. He's got his hair, his teeth, his nails, everything he needs really to live life as a little tiny miniature guinea pig. He does also need his mum for milk though still. Shall we take him back to mum and meet his brothers and sisters? For our stickbook activity today, we're going to have a go at project number 57, Make a Stick Rattle. Now the book tells us that this rattle is based on a sistrum, an African percussion instrument, a bit like a tambourine. Now, as we do every week, I've tried to rummage around the house and the garden and the shed to find things so that we don't actually have to buy anything. I found a brilliant Y-shaped stick. I've also found some old shells in the craft drawer. I've made a little hole in the strongest part of each shell using a nail and a hammer. You will need to be very careful and get a grown-up to help you with this. Let's give it a little tap. If you don't have shells, you could use bottle tops or can ring pulls or buttons, things like that that are useful and already have a hole in them. Anything that makes a sort of a rattly sound. And you'll need to thread them onto a bit of wire, or again, if a grown-up could help you, maybe an old coat hanger that you could cut to size, or some string. You could try maybe nylon fishing wire. Just give it a go and see what works. The first thing we need to do is wrap one end of our wire around the end of our stick. This stick's extra useful because it's got a little notch just in the right place so my wire doesn't slip down. Now that I've done one side, I'm going to thread my shells onto it. There's 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to wrap the other end around the other end of my stick. Now, you could make yours a lot more complicated, and you could also decorate your rattle. This has literally only taken us a couple of moments, and it makes a brilliant noise. Hope you enjoy having a go at home. As well as our more complicated rattle instruments, you can make loads of music using just a stick and the objects around you. Here I've filled 2 cups with different amounts of water because they make different pitched sounds. And here we've got 3 tins left over from a lantern making exercise. They sound like ace drums. Now if we head outside, let's see how many sounds we can make in the world around us. We happen to have a member of the Manor Farm family, our friend Ollie, who's an expert at making music with sticks. So let's head across to him in his Bristol apartment so he can show us how it's done.
Hi guys, Ollie here on lockdown in Bristol. To keep me busy, Hannah has challenged me to make some music with some sticks and some ordinary household items. Today we've got a cheese grater, a saucepan, a colander, but you can use anything. It all works just as good. So here we go. I hope that's inspired you guys at home to make some noise, but don't make too much because you might annoy your grown-ups, and it didn't work well for me when I was a kid. Now we're going over to Ellie and Mabel for Marvellous Mabel's Mystery Animal. Enjoy.
Hi guys, it's Ellie here again to introduce my marvellous Mabel's mystery animal. She's really looking forward to the Manor Farm barn dance after her video. Good luck!
Hello everybody, I'm all set and ready to get down and boogie at the Manor Farm barn dance. But first, I'm going to give you my mystery animal clues. Hannah will reveal the animal at the end of the video before she says goodbye. Here we go. Clue number 1. The male of this species is always called Tom. Not Kevin or Arthur, but always a Tom. Clue number 2. They are one of the most popular pets in the whole world. My final clue, they've got brilliant night vision for catching mice and rats and things like that. I hope you've guessed it. Now let's head back over to Manor Farm and get our dancing shoes on. Woohoo!
Hey guys, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time for the Manor Farm barn dance. We're already getting on down and boogieing, and we're so glad you can join us, and that so many of your animals from home have joined us as well. Keep your eyes peeled and see if you can spot your pet.
Let's get this party started, yeah!
You don't wanna be with me, but you miss me as soon as it's over. Your name lighting up the screen, but you never call when you're sober. You say you don't like the games, but you play me like there's no tomorrow.
I love to boogie! Whoop 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 whoop!
Oh Molly, check out that guy strutting his stuff. Who is he? Cluck cluck.
Dancing's hungry work. I'm just grabbing a tasty snack. Yum yum.
Stop eating, Ruby, and let's get back to the dance floor.
Have a great day!
Party!
And that's a wrap.
Important announcement! Before we get started with this recipe, there are a few very important things I need to tell you. Number 1, you're going to need a grown-up to help. We're going to be using the hob of the cooker, pouring hot liquids, and a sharp knife. Number 2, when you go to pick your dandelions, make sure you and your grown-up know the history of the environment where you're picking them. You do not want to pick dandelions where weed killers and chemicals have been used. You also don't want to pick them from the side of very busy roads with car fumes, and you probably don't want to pick them from your pet's favourite toilet spot. Yuck. Number 3, have a jolly good hand wash before we get going. Okay, back over to me to start the activity. For our next activity, we're going to make a delicious wildflower and citrus drink, which will be perfect for rehydrating after all of our disco dancing. The things you'll need are an old bottle, some water, a sieve, a spoon, something to collect your flowers in, around about half a cup of sugar, but it doesn't have to be exact, some citrus fruit. I found 2 lemons, but you could try limes, a chopping board to chop, a saucepan and a bowl, and a bit of paper comes in handy too. So the first thing you'll need to do is head outside and collect your flowers. Very important that you know what flowers you're picking. I'm going to pick dandelions because they're really easy to identify, and also elderflower because they're pretty common, and here on the farm we have some elderflower bushes which have already got lovely flowers on them. You might find if you've got bushes at home, they don't flower brilliantly until later in May, so you could just use dandelions. Let's head outside and have a look. Oh, excuse me, Tango the tortoise. Would you mind if we have some of your dandelions? Here's a fresh elderflower. You're going to need to collect about 2 cupfuls of flowers in total. Now that I've collected up all my flowers, I'm going to spread them out on some paper and give it a little jiggle to give the bugs a chance to wiggle away. And then after I've left that for a moment, I'm going to take as much of the green parts as I can off of my dandelions. You can just pull it off, or you might want to carefully use a knife and chop it off. Next, I'm going to rinse my flowers and pop them back in the rinsed out bowl to soak for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, I'm going to drain my flowers and pop them onto the hob into a saucepan and add 1.5 cups of water. Then I'm going to bring the mixture to the boil, and once it's boiling, turn it down and let it simmer for 5 minutes. Next, remove your mixture from the hob and just let it sit and stew for 10 or 15 minutes. Once it's cooled a bit, tip your mixture through your sieve to strain away all your flowers. Next, pour your mixture back into your saucepan and add the sugar. Then heat it on the hob on a low simmer, stirring with your spoon until all of your sugar has dissolved. Once your mixture's cooled a little bit, add your lemons and then pop the lid on and set it aside for a few hours so that all the flavours can infuse. You might want to use some of this time to make a snazzy label for your drink. Next, sieve your mixture one last time into your jug. Next, you need to dilute your drink by adding about the same amount of water as you already have mixture. I like to use fizzy water to give it a bit of a zing. So you'll probably want about 1.5 cups, but keep trying it until it tastes right to you. All that's left to do now is enjoy your drink over a refreshing glass of ice. Cheers! Now that we've enjoyed a good boogie at the barn dance and refreshed ourselves with a homemade drink, it's time to say goodbye for another week. But before we do, I'm going to reveal Marvellous Mabel's mystery animal. I hope you got it right, guys. It's the cat. We've got lots of cats at Manor Farm. Here are 2 of them having a relaxing rest in the bush. See you next time. Bye.